In this week's Signal Emitted, we will be looking at the Beta 3, Action Game Maker. There will also be our Creator Spotlight, Game of the Week, Add-on of the Week, and our Tip of the Week. Welcome to Signal Emitted, a weekly news show about Godot related news. I'm Voylin, and let's get started with the main topic, the new beta release. So I guess summer vacation has started, and many people have more time to contribute to Godot since we already have a new beta release, just 1 week later. This release, Beta 3 for Godot 4.5, is however just bug fixes and doesn't really contain anything special. Or does it? Yeah, no, it's just bug fixes. But the reason why I want to talk about this new beta is this. We are over 75% right now of the Godot 4.5 milestone, meaning that the actual release is getting close, or at least like the release candidates. Looking at the list of PRs which are tagged for the 4.5 release, most of them are labeled as bug fixes. So there might be one or more beta coming out after this one, and then we'll probably start seeing the release candidates. But my reasoning for why the release candidate is coming very soon is this. This beta only had 57 commits merged, so pull requests, which make it a lot more likely to suspect that the release candidates are getting very close. And next up, the sponsor of today's episode, GDE Gozen. GDE Gozen is a GDE extension which gives the possibility to have a video playback in Godot for lots of different video formats, with seeking and playback speed controls. You can get it from it or from my coffee shop where members can get this for free. Link in the description. And next up, the Creator Spotlight. For this week's creator, I chose Carbon Dev. Carbon Dev is a YouTuber which makes videos of using C++ in Godot thanks to the Genova project. It is quite interesting to see C++ being used directly and not just for GD extensions. And most videos on YouTube are normally of people using GDScript and with some people using C#. So yeah, subscribe to his channel if you want to see more videos of C++ being used for making Godot games. Link in the description as usual. And then up to some of the smaller topics, but yeah, small. The first one is kind of a big one. Action Game Maker. Yes, from the whole RPG Maker series. Action Game Maker is made in Godot and now available on Steam. And yeah, I won't be lying, I will admit their tools are a little bit too pricey at times, so if you really want them, get them and they're discounted. They often get discounted anyway. Now for this, I kind of want you to comment below this video of what you think of Action Game Maker. It is basically the Godot UI, they basically use Godot and it's basically Godot with some add-ons. Yes, they include some basic assets to make games with and there's also visual scripting, but I can't help but feel that it's... yeah, but I know I and probably most of you are not really the target audience for something like Action Game Maker. Action Game Maker is for something for people who don't really want to invest too much time learning how to code and they just want to make games reasonably quickly. It does have a specific target audience and I do understand that, but at their full price of $100 or 98 euros, I find the price way too high to just be kind of like a fork of Godot with some add-ons thrown at it. That's just my opinion. But a quick mention before people start becoming angry about this. Yes, it's basically Godot with some add-ons, but people who are using it, they will probably get used to the whole Godot UI. And later on, if they really want to like make bigger games, they will most likely switch to Godot. So in one way, it's kind of a good thing for Godot that it's made with Godot. And in other news, the Godot Wild Jam is almost starting. In a couple of hours, it will go live. The team will be announced. So far, there are 500 people who joined already. And although I won't be joining because I have a little bit too much work in the next couple of weeks, feel free to join because I will start making this a kind of monthly thing in which I will talk about the winner of the previous Godot Wild Jam and may the best game win. And time to show off a Reddit post. Every week I try to find a nice post to share. The creator of Dig Dig Boom let the Godot subreddit decide how the character in his game should walk upstairs. And yeah, they chose crap walk, which looks funny, but the way the miner goes down the stairs is probably the best way I've seen so far. Check out this game on Steam and wishlist it if you are interested in playing this game. And talking about games, Game of the Week. This Game of the Week might be very familiar to people who have been playing a lot of games on Facebook when Facebook was still kind of relevant. Miscrit's World of Creatures. It is a free-to-play turn-based RPG in which you explore the world and collect creatures. You catch, evolve, train, collect and fight with the creatures you find. This game is kind of a reboot since like previously mentioned, the first version was available on Facebook, and now after a couple of years of silence, they basically made a new version in Godot available on Steam and other platforms. The reviews are very positive, with many people talking about how nostalgic they feel playing this game again, since it disappeared so many years ago. It is free to play, and if you like collecting monster type of games, yeah, give it a try, it's free. And then for the tip of the week, I have a little bit of a longer one. So, what if you don't want your users to directly quit your applications? For example, you have an application like a video editor like the one I'm making. You don't want people to just quit and close the window. You want to have a pop-up in case they want to save something. Yeah, let's see how we do that. First, you head into your project settings and you disable auto accept quits in your project settings. And then you use the following code snippet. Inside of the ready function, you get your window and then you get your close requested event and you connect it to an event called on request quits. Then we create a function and basically we create a confirmation dialog and add the child to the scene. Then we change the text. And then we just pop up the dialog. Now when people want to close, they will see your pop-up. One thing you should do is make the cancel button and the OK button work. And you can also add other buttons. You can basically do whatever you want. This is the tip of the week. I personally think it's kind of a helpful thing, and I also use it inside of my video editor, Godot. But yeah, anyway, that's it for this episode. There was not too much news this week. It's kind of a calm week. Let's hope next week it's a little bit more busy. And yeah, thank you very much to all my coffee supporters. Without them, this would all not be possible. I would not be able to spend this much time making videos, working on Godot, my video editor. These people make it all possible. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with these weekly Godot news videos. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.